What's going on, my guys? Lost and Found Dating channel, back at it again like we never left with another dating topic. Before we get into that topic, as you guys have probably noticed, we got some Lost and Found Dating channel merchandise, new t-shirts. At some point, we'll make sure we put those on the market, make sure those are accessible for all the fellas and all the ladies that would like to purchase them. But make sure you know we're doing some big things. We're building, we're expanding the brand, and we're constantly putting in effort and energy into the channel and into the brand for you guys, because we want to make this channel as best as it possibly can be. And we hope that shows with the content and everything that we put out. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check us out. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter as well, Lost and Found Dating channel. Without further ado, let's dive into this week's topic. All right, guys, so for this week, we're gonna be talking about how to be more comfortable leading in dating and in life, right? So we're gonna be talking about how to be more comfortable in that leadership role when it comes to your dating life and just your life in general. Now, you guys have heard me talk about this before. One of the best qualities that you can demonstrate as far as your dating life and in life in general is leadership, right? That means being decisive, being assertive, being able to take initiative. And sometimes I find that when I'm speaking with guys about leadership in dating, about leadership in life, sometimes the challenges that they have when it comes to leadership, a lot of it has to do with kind of psychologically how they view leadership and how they view what it means to be a leader. You know, a lot of the challenge and a lot of the adversity, a lot of those hurdles that come with developing leadership skills come with how you view leadership, right? What do you think it means to be a leader? And I'll be the first to admit to you guys, for me personally growing up, one of the challenges as far as leadership, you know, I won't say always, there were a lot of times where I would shy away from leadership roles or from positions where I could ascend as a leader, because I viewed being a leader and I viewed leadership as a bad thing. Now, why is that? For me, when I thought about leaders, I looked at leaders as bad because, to my knowledge, leaders were people who bossed people around. Leaders were people who other people didn't really like them. Leaders were people who didn't really get along well with the team. Leaders were people who made everyone else do all of the work, and the leaders just kind of sat back and made everyone else do everything. And, you know, for me and in my eyes, it gave leadership kind of a bad rap and a bad reputation because I looked at it in a negative way. And then as I got older and I started to transition through life and progress through life, I realized that none of those qualities are what a leader is, and certainly not what a good leader is. And one thing that I had to realize is that the best leaders are actually the hardest workers when it comes to their team, right? The best leaders put the most pressure on themselves as far as their performance and as far as how they're helping the team move forward, right? If you look at the best leaders, they make sure that they're, you know, inspiring and creating other leaders to come on behind them, right? The best leaders have compassion for the people whom they're leading and their other team members, right? And also the best leaders know in certain instances when it's best to follow, when it's best to defer to someone else, when maybe someone else is better suited to lead in that situation. And lastly, another important thing that I learned about leaders is they understand the importance of being able to decide and being able to make decisions. And sometimes it's about being able to guide the team in the direction that they want them to go in, or guide the team in order to help the team win. Now that applies to business, just like that applies to your job, just like that applies to your dating life, right? Being able to lead and guide and inspire and motivate and do things to help the team move forward. Leadership applies to all of those different aspects of your life. And a lot of people don't realize that's why, owning your own business or having a skill or having a trade is such a valuable thing in today's market. When you talk about being an entrepreneur or owning your own business, a lot of people focus on, I get to work for myself, I get to set my own schedule, I get to not have a boss, I wake up and go to sleep when I want to, and those things are great, and of course, those are benefits that a lot of people like as far as owning their own business or having their own trade or their own skill. But another thing about leadership and about having your own skill, your own trade, owning your own business is people pay tons of money for leadership, right? People pay tons of money for expertise, for individuals who have the capacity to guide them towards success or to lead them towards success. Anyone can be paid to take instruction or to follow a certain set of directions. There's a lot of people who can be paid to be an employee and to be told what to do or to be trained on a certain set of tasks. But when you own your own business, it takes more than just following directions or following instructions, right? That's where it takes that leadership. That's where it takes a sense of expertise and being able to guide and direct and instruct others. When you're self-employed or you have a specialized trade or skill, one of the advantages is that you're able to make decisions that other people maybe don't feel as comfortable making, right? If you look at today's marketplace, people pay ridiculous, insane amounts of money for people who can make decisions for them, in a sense. People who can not necessarily make the decision for them, but make recommendations or give guidance or give consultation in order to help other people make the best decision or to help other people make an informed decision, right? If I want to lose weight or I want to get into shape and I have no idea how to do it, I can hire a personal trainer to lead me and help guide me in that aspect, right? If I want to start my own business and I don't know anything about starting a business, I can hire someone to lead and to guide me, right? If let's say I have my own business or I have money, I have a group of funds, and I don't know anything about managing funds or paying my taxes and all those different kinds of pieces, I can hire an accountant who has the expertise, who has the capacity to lead and help me make good decisions about managing my income, managing my money, right? So you can kind of get the sense and the direction where I'm heading. Sometimes people, they don't have the capacity to make the best decision, and that's where leadership comes into play, right? People will pay someone who has not just the knowledge and the information, but the capacity to look at a different scenario or look at a different situation and say, hey, based on your situation and based on your circumstances, I would recommend this, or I would make this suggestion of something that I would alter or something that I would adjust there, right? That's where that leadership capacity and the ability to make decisions and kind of give people guidance comes into play. And something that's very important to understand is both men and women appreciate people who are competent leaders. And I'll share a nugget with you guys. A lot of my coworkers and people whom I work alongside are women. Most of my client base are women. And from just getting to know them and spending time with them, being around them, I'll tell you guys how common it is for women to talk about going to a nail salon to get their nails done, or going to a hair salon and getting their hair done, and them going into the salon and not having any sense of the design or the style that they want. A lot of times a woman may go into a hair salon and she doesn't specifically know what style she wants to have done with her hair. She just knows, hey, I've had this hairstyle for several months now. I'm kind of getting bored of it. I'm tired. I want to try something else. But she doesn't specifically know exactly what she wants. In those situations, a lot of women will rely on the expertise and just the leadership qualities of the stylist to kind of help guide them in the direction of something that they will like, right? So a stylist might look at the woman and say, you know, based on your skin complexion, based on the shape of your face, based on your eye color, I think this style would look really nice on you, and she'll kind of experiment and he or she, male or female stylist, will kind of experiment and try different styles and different alterations and kind of guide the woman to something that she likes. And it's not where the expertise and the leadership comes in is because, like I said, sometimes the woman doesn't necessarily know. She's not going to tell you, hey, I want you to do this, or I like this. It's more about the stylist knowing the woman, kind of looking and assessing her situation and saying, hey, I think that you'll like this. And sometimes just off of the stylist's confidence and charisma and the willingness to kind of make decisions and how good she feels about, you know, let's try this, the woman will end up liking that style just based on how excited and confident and how much charisma the stylist has, right? So that's a practical example of how, you know, in this specific situation, women respond to leadership among a guy. Sometimes when it comes to planning dates or just planning fun things to do or kind of moving the relationship or the courtship forward, sometimes it's just you as a guy having the confidence, having the charisma to say, hey, you know, I heard this museum has a really cool exhibit, let's go check this out. Or I heard there's a fair going on this weekend, there's gonna be a lot of cool attractions and things there, let's go check that out, right? Just by you having that confidence and that charisma as a leader to make suggestions, just by you having that decisiveness, women will gravitate towards you. And like I said, women appreciate, you know, leadership qualities just as men do. You know, I've worked with male clients who tell me, you know, their situation and what their goals are, and we'll put together a customized program based on their needs. And just by me showing that I'm attentive to their situation and towards their outcome and towards their goals, they buy into me just off of my leadership qualities that I've demonstrated to them. And back to my earlier point, guys, that goes to show you that sometimes it's not just about how much you know, it's not just about the X's and O's and the information that you have access to. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there are a lot of people who know different exercises or know about physiology or know how the body responds to different exercises. They know different workouts, but that doesn't necessarily, just because you know a lot about exercise and fitness, that doesn't necessarily translate to being a great trainer, being someone who's able to lead clients and the people that you're working with, right? It takes those leadership qualities, it takes the charisma and the confidence and the decisiveness to, you know, communicate with someone and to make them want to receive the instruction that you're giving them, right? Same thing with the hairstyling and the nail styling examples that I gave you. There are a lot of men and women who know how to do a specific style or know a certain technique of working with hair, but it takes the charisma and sometimes those leadership qualities of being able to address and work with a client who has no idea what they want, right? Clients come to you, clients come to me as a trainer, clients come to you as a stylist, or whatever you do as far as your business. Clients come to you as a director, broski, and they have no idea what they want. They just know, hey, I want to produce something that looks cool, I want it to look nice, I want it to be professional. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of the extra work and kind of guide the client to where they want to be. They're not always going to tell you. Sometimes they just have bits and pieces of kind of what they want. but they're really relying on your leadership abilities to kind of pull things together and synchronize and say, hey, based on what you're telling me, let's try this. And you could propose anything, but just the fact that you have a sense of direction and you're kind of taking lead and saying, hey, you know what, based on that, let's give this a try. I like this shot, I like this angle, I like, let's try the lighting here. Just by your confidence and your leadership alone, they're like, that sounds great. They buy into you just because leadership conveys a sense of credibility that people want to buy into, and people are attracted to that, and you just have a magnetic energy about yourself where when you know how to lead, people willingly want to follow you. And the same goes with relationships. Like I said, guys, the same things that attract your friends and your clients and your customers and the people that you work with in a non-romantic setting, those are the same kinds of leadership qualities that are going to attract women whom you're dating. And as I mentioned, I know we tend to talk about leadership in the context of kind of the male or the man being the kind of central leader in the relationship. But I'll tell you guys, I appreciate a woman who has leadership qualities. There's been countless times where I've been dating a woman and she's like, hey, you know what? You've been planning, a lot of the dates and coordinating a lot of things, and I really appreciate it. And I've been having an awesome time. How about the next date? I wanna step up to the plate and I wanna plan, the date and how things work. And you don't even have to worry about, driving towards me. I'll plan the date. I'm gonna pick you up. All that you have to do is show up. And I'm like, man, this is kind of cool. Like, I like this. This whole courtship thing, I like this. And I can see why women appreciate it, because it's the sense of like, you can just show up ready to have a good time, and someone else will take care of the responsibility of making sure that it's a mutually fulfilling experience. So as I mentioned, it's not this thing where only women appreciate guys who demonstrate leadership qualities. I, as a guy personally, and I'm sure a lot of guys out there, appreciate when women demonstrate leadership qualities as well. So in wrapping things up, guys, hope you took some nuggets away from this video. Hope for those of you out there who are maybe a little anxious or more hesitant when it comes to being a leader and being assertive and being more decisive and just demonstrating leadership qualities, whether it's in dating, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your education, whatever it may be. Hopefully for some of you who had maybe a negative connotation of leadership or steered away from leadership roles, hopefully this video maybe changed your perspective in a sense on what it means to be a leader, and shows you that there are a lot of great benefits to being a leader, but also that leadership is a responsibility. It's not something that's just given to you or you can just kind of have just by being in a certain role, or just by having seniority, or just by being a man. Leadership isn't something that's just given to you or just assigned to you. In my opinion, it's something that should be earned. It's something that you have to not only earn once, but constantly prove and constantly reassure to other people that you're a competent leader, that they can buy into you, and that you're credible, and that the things that you're doing are not just in your own best interest, but in the best interest of the team as well. So signing off, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment down below. Feel free to share your thoughts, and double salute. I'm out.